Heather McDonald has got the juiciest scoop. When you're on the road, when you're on the go, Juicy Scoop is the show to know. She talks Hollywood tales, her real life Mr. Segment serial data and serial sister. You'll be addicted and addicted fast to the #1 tabloid real life podcast. Listen in, listen up. Whoop whoop. Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop.
Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. Breaking news, but not a huge surprise. It's been confirmed that Raquel and Tom Sandoval are no longer for now. And the for now is from me. It came from an insider who told Page Six, coming from Raquel's camp. We don't know where Raquel is, if she's just laying low in a facility or at a home. We don't know. Of course, the finale was last night, and then we've got, I think, 1 or 2 episodes of the reunion up ahead. And we're going to see some real juicy shit, obviously, coming up. And it's no surprise that they broke up to me. I think there wasn't a chance this would last at this time. He's on tour. He's having a blast. He's getting his nails done. And, and she's somewhere in Arizona. I don't know. But my biggest prediction is that she will not come back to the show. The only reason they would maybe get back together is if she was on the show and they were filming again together. But my prediction is that she won't come back to the show. Anyway, speaking of the show, I have the best show ever. So let's get into it. Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. I don't even know if people deserve what's in front of me right now because they had a great show on Tuesday with Dax Taylor. And now we have Chris Frangiola, everyone's favorite, looking like Harry fucking Hamlin.
Yeah, that's what I was going for.
You got a leather jacket on. You have your framed glasses with a yellow lens. You look fucking hot, Harry.
Thank you.
You look fucking hot. He's about to fuck me right now. Good thing Bravo put me on pause.
All right, that's what I was going for. I was going for Harry Hamlin. I'll take them off, but I just wanted you to see them.
I like it.
Thank you. I put them on Instagram and a lot of thumbs down. People are like, I don't like them. Then you look at their picture like, oh, you're not so great. You want to write that, but you don't.
I need to warn the people, especially those who watch on YouTube. Thank you for subscribing. Share it with a friend. I was washing my face and I put a clip in my hair. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to wear my hair up today. I think it looks kind of cute. It also could look weirdly matronly. I don't know.
It doesn't look matronly at all.
Okay.
I think it's
cute. All right.
Like
thanks. Thank you.
And I would also like to say that congratulations on, I believe, the secret to your and my success.
Yes.
Whatever that may be, is the fact that we have found a haircut that works for us and stayed with it for many, many, many years. We're not experimenting with haircuts.
I only experimented once in my life.
And how'd it go?
According to my mother, not great.
What was it? I don't remember.
It was the Jennifer Aniston one.
You did
the original one. I always had hair.
The Rachel.
I always had hair. I always had brown hair.
Yeah.
Sometimes no highlights. Sometimes honey golden highlights. Sometimes it would get a little too blonde, take it back. But never where you'd call me blonde,
Right.
And sometimes no highlights. Sometimes I had bangs, sometimes I didn't. Always had a side part, always had layers, and always had hair right around the boob. Sometimes above the boob, sometimes just past the nip. Never longer than that in the last 30 years.
Okay.
So this girl who was a comedian, his hairdresser, she's like, let me do your hair, So she cut it in the Friends style. In the Jennifer Aniston Friends.
And what age is this? This is when Friends is at the height.
This is 1996.
Wow, okay.
And I came home to my mother's house and I go, what do you think? And she goes, well, now you look like everybody else.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I remember one time my sister got a perm and she goes, I only have one thing to say to you. Wolf.
Oh, like she looked like a dog. Your mom's not she's not good reviews.
Yeah, she's just really honest about.
Right.
She likes her. What she likes is what she likes. She's not.
But what I was going to say is that the problem. I'm seeing Tom Cruise. He's out there lately. I saw a picture of him with Janet Jackson.
And you thought it was Tig.
Yes, I think he's experimenting too much with haircuts. And I think that Tom Cruise is a guy of a certain age, 60, whatever he is. He's got, I don't know if he's putting dye in that hair or whatever, but it's dark hair still. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But he's experimenting. He needs to go with whatever one we liked from like the first Mission Impossible, and that's it.
Here's the thing with guys and dyeing their hair. It's real disturbing when someone's older and they're dyeing their hair and they go that auburn color. They don't mean it to be auburn, but because there's white underneath, the darkness goes a little red.
Yes, it goes red.
And it's not meant to be.
No.
Now, listen, Peter at one time was dyeing his hair when it started to go white. This was years ago.
Okay.
And then one day we just agreed as a couple, also because I was dyeing it.
Okay. It's a lot of work. I tried once.
Oh,
yeah.
I had to do it, and you had your gloves, and I had to make sure, all this stuff.
Yeah.
And listen, go to Madison Reed for your roots. Henry at Stoff does my highlights. Okay. But and then we just were like, let's just forget it. Okay. So now he is full Bob McDonald. My dad had full white hair.
Right.
There was a photo he took recently. I mean, morphing into my dad beyond belief. Like, he looks so much like my dad now.
Do you think that's a psychological thing? Do you think
Yes.
people do that? Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah, because my wife says I 100% married my dad. When I say certain things, she's like, you are
She
my dad.
married her dad,
Yeah,
meaning you.
yeah.
Yeah. It is such a common weird thing. And so anyway, I was with my friend Lisa Parker in New York, and her stepdaughter just got married. And she goes, look at who she married. How much does that guy look like my husband, her dad?
Yeah.
And I go, wow, yeah. Like thin, dark hair, like a little like narrow-ish, like kind of a little nerdy looking, but cute.
Right.
Like 100% looks like each other. And then I see her son's girlfriend. And I go, Lisa, your son who's 25, his girlfriend looks like you. She goes, no, she doesn't. I go, yeah, she does. And I go, this is so weird.
So you think it's normal, or it's like maybe if you go the other direction, marry somebody complete opposite, that's strange.
I just think it's a weird thing that can happen. And I just think as with Peter, who has now full white hair, but a full head of hair, like my dad never lost hair, but it was fully white.
Yeah.
Like stark white. His is almost fully white.
Now, do you think Peter married his mom? You know his mom.
I mean, she is completely nicer than I am.
Right.
But I think like her independence, she's very independent.
Yeah.
And she's very much self-sufficient, and she very much isn't like, woe is me, and like does a lot herself.
Uh-huh.
And so I think in that respect, and she's a good time. So in that respect, I think he married, a similar type, like chick who has her shit together.
Yeah.
But like, not like look-wise, but she was a taller woman, especially for her time. I'm taller. I don't know.
All right,
I can't wait to meet my kids, but I'm probably going to just have to buy them, set it up.
What? As far as what?
To
see if your kids.
No, I just think
their kids are, their girlfriends are like.
I think I'm just going to have to bring back arranged marriage for them.
Because they're not showing any signs.
No, they're not trying. I don't know who they're dating, or they're not trying.
Is it is it?
They're just lazy.
Well, is it them, or is it the time they're living in?
It's the time they're living in, because I'm like, listen, everything I read, they have so much going for them just because I fed them milk and Pediasure and they came from Tall Jeans, they already are ahead of the game. They say, guys that are, this size, nobody swipes on them. And these people that are taller get the better jobs and all this stuff. So I'm like,
right.
Forget about white privilege, which you guys are white. You're like height privilege. Like already, life should just be fucking like, walk into a room with your shoulders and girls will probably like you.
Right.
Like, just try a little.
Do you think it's the fact that they dress exactly like Peter? Do you think that might be an issue?
I definitely.
That they're two 20-year-old kids who dress like 60-year-old men?
Yes. I definitely think they need to work on their style a little bit.
Right.
And, they don't like to shop or anything.
Those two guys you had on last week, the two gay guys wearing, Ed Hardy shirts or whatever.
Siegfried and Roy.
Have those guys bring your kids to the mall and see what they come up with.
That would be such a good time.
Right.
Honestly, that's a hilarious idea.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Let's just bring up the fact that you and I are going on some fun shows.
I'm very excited about it.
Yes.
We haven't been together in a long time.
Oh, we're going to have some fun.
Yeah.
First off, we, of course, have the weekend at the Venetian, and I got it all set up.
Well, I got a text from Justin Martindale last night.
Is he nervous or something?
You know, he wants to
complaining.
Know. Well, no, he wasn't complaining, but he was asking me what I know about it. I was like, I don't know anything.
Oh, I just got confirmation of everything.
Okay, so he needs information.
We have a dinner Friday night for all of us.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Didn't hear this.
We have a nightclub Friday night for all of us.
No, wait a minute. Where's the dinner? You don't have to tell me exactly where, but I feel like last time we were treated like second class citizens. Outside.
No, it's all good. It's a different place.
Okay.
It's in the Venetian.
Because we need to be treated.
I honestly forgot the name. It's in the Venetian.
Okay.
It's totally set up great.
All right.
And then we have a nightclub situation if we so choose.
On Friday night?
If we choose, yes.
Wow.
So just easy.
Wow.
I don't like to cross the street in Vegas. I like to just stay at the Venetian.
I'm with you on that.
And everything's there. Then we have a cabana.
On Friday?
Saturday.
Oh, I got to start doing push-ups. I didn't realize this.
And then we have the show.
Okay.
Which is the live Juicy Scoop, and Spencer and Heidi are coming, and I was able to hook them up with a situation, so I have to tell them that they now can bring a nanny. Thank God.
Okay.
And so then we've got a fun dinner nightclub situation after the show Saturday.
Oh, this is all fantastic news.
All set up. You've got your room.
Yeah. I have a room on Friday and Saturday.
Yes.
Okay.
So it is all set up, going to be super fun. We are driving out Friday morning. We want to have our car. We're bringing Drake to help.
I like that idea. Well, Justin was asking me if we're all traveling together. I was like, I don't know about that, and I would not. I won't do that. What are we, the Partridge Family?
Peter would probably be fine if he wanted to come in the car with us.
Yeah.
If he wants to. But we want to leave early Friday.
Okay.
And we are super early risers. So I don't know if I want to wait for someone from West Hollywood, though he's never late. He's never late.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't think that makes sense.
Okay.
So everyone just has to get themselves there whichever way they want. And then we're going to leave on Sunday.
That sounds great.
And then we're going to Palm Desert and hanging out for a couple days.
Oh, you're
because I have a party there Sunday. So I'd rather go to that. So anyway, that's my weekend plan. It's all set. I hope people come. There are still tickets available, live tickets available. We also are streaming it. Yeah. Everything's at heathermcdonald.net. But you and I are also going to New Jersey, Connecticut, New York, also the Hamptons. Also, you are doing the San Francisco, Sacramento shows in September. Remember that?
Yes,
anyway,
I do.
it's all set.
Tempe, Arizona.
Oh, I forgot the biggest one. We just added Tempe, Arizona, and it's going to be really fun. We're both doing stand-up there. Anything goes, all new material from the last time I was there, last time Chris was there. So fun.
And Humphreys in San Diego.
Oh, the Humphreys in San Diego is almost sold out.
Yeah.
So that's going to be
a real
That's
fun.
going to be I've been working on my
Carly Simon. This is going to be your Carly Simon moment.
I know nothing feels the same. But if you're willing to play the game, it's coming around again.
Right.
Just imagine if I did 4 songs and then we're like, thank you. Thanks for coming tonight. It'll be very funny. And Justin's going to be in San Diego as well. Okay, listen. This just happened. Just popped up. Very interesting.
I heard about it.
Meghan Markle and Prince Harry went to an event in New York City, a red carpet event. They brought her mother. She was awarded something about helping women and young girls.
Okay.
Then they get in their car to go to a private residence after where they're staying at their friends for the evening. All of a sudden, all these cars, all these paparazzi cars are chasing them through the streets of New York, trying to get a photo of Meghan and Harry and their mother.
Yeah.
And, isn't this horrible? They almost died. They almost crashed. Very reminiscent of Princess Diana. This is absolutely awful. What is this? Now, some interesting coincidences happened. This was Tuesday night.
Okay.
Also, Tuesday afternoon is when there was a hearing about the fact that the UK government has cut off Harry's security.
I heard about
and
this.
he would like it to be reinstated.
Mm-hmm.
This goes on Tuesday afternoon, and then just hours later,
Oh,
this happens in New York City. When we already saw all the red carpet photos, we saw her outfit.
Uh-huh.
She's not with, a Muslim billionaire who's not her husband.
Right.
It's with her husband, Harry.
Right.
It's with her mother, who's very attractive, but we also saw her.
Yeah.
why in 2023 would paparazzi be acting like it's 2004
Right, hiding in the bushes.
for
and all that.
them
Yeah.
that
We all
we
see
can
the
see?
pictures. Yeah.
There's no scoop.
I also read that the chase was 4 hours. I'm like, have you been to New York? It's like a 9-mile island. Like, you can't even drive for 4 hours on the island of Manhattan. But in 4 hours, you could be at Mashantucket, Connecticut to see our show. You know, that's a long drive around New York, a 4-hour chase.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, like, hey, not going to accuse anyone, not going to say anything. I'm just saying when people know what I mean, it's interesting.
Okay.
They know when Heather says interesting.
Interesting.
They know what I
It's
mean.
interesting. I get you.
They know what I
get
mean.
you. So you're saying that
I question
perhaps
it. I question the reality of this.
it was a play
story.
to get the security reinstated.
Yes.
Yeah,
For
okay.
the world to be like, this cannot happen again. This
Right.
is insane.
Yeah.
But
I would almost say you need to reinstate the security for them.
after this,
Yes. Well, no, just on the fact that they have children and they are public figures,
I don't
and
think.
he is.
Okay, but I will say, prior to this incident, it
Right.
didn't seem like people really were caring that much. And it was also very interesting that the last time paparazzi was there was when they were going to the private club.
Right.
What's those, the bungalows or whatever.
Okay.
And they were like, wow, people come here all the time and paparazzi's never here because it's a private club. And isn't it interesting that the paparazzi knew that they were coming that night because they normally don't hang out there because it's like,
This restaurant or whatever.
Yeah.
Have you been there yet?
I went there once.
I
with
got
my
to hook
friend.
up.
Well, invite me again.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
To turn in your, they have
A
to put tape on your
a
phone.
comedian friend of mine is a waitress there.
Chelsea?
She listens to this podcast all the time. No, not Chelsea.
Okay.
Yeah, not yet, at least.
Okay. So anyway, I just think I think it's, wow, a very, very scary 4 hours they must have had. But what a wonderful timing coincidence.
Yeah.
That's all.
You might be
going
onto
to say.
something. That's yeah.
However, we might be harassed by paparazzi tonight.
Oh, that's right. We are going.
I am taking Chris out for an early Chrissy Poo birthday.
Can I just say
Yes.
something like this? I found I got your text, and you said, "Can I take you out for your birthday?" I was a little suspicious
Why?
because I didn't think you knew when my birthday was.
Peter did.
Oh, because maybe he listens to my
I don't know. I
podcast
think it's
or
like
something.
in his
coming to
calendar
cover.
or something.
Oh, it is. Oh,
He's,
that's nice.
Actually, Peter is amazing. One of the things that his mother taught them, which I'm horrible at, is like sending actual birthday cards. They all send birthday cards to each other, all the kids.
Okay.
And to nieces, and Peter will come back from Target and be like, here, sign this for our nephew Garrett.
That's a nice quality.
He's actually really
Yeah.
good like that.
Wow.
So anyway, but we had talked about going to Craig's, and
Yes,
I had it
another
down.
time.
I had it down on like the calendar April 19th, and for whatever reason, that date didn't work for me. So then when this was coming, I was like, this is great.
I love it. I'm very
but
excited
I do have to
about
admit
it.
one thing to you.
You got a coupon or something?
No.
That's expiring?
No.
Okay. That's what I thought.
I was supposed to have dinner with Teresa and Louis.
I knew it. I told my wife, I said, there's something suspicious about this. I knew it.
Chris, though, I'm so
No,
much more excited to have it with you.
No. So what? They
might
canceled.
be. No. Yes, they canceled. But I still didn't have the reservation at that time. But I said, you know what? I have this night free. I'm going to take Chris. He wanted to go. This will be perfect. We can
Right.
carpool because now we live in the same hood. And, but who knows?
Okay.
But they may be there. They
Now,
might be there.
if
'Cause she
they are
said-
there,
she goes,
will I have
can't-
to stand? Will you make me stand and let them have the seats
Oh, absolutely not.
that are for
if
me?
they're there, they'll be having dinner with Bravo executives.
Oh, okay.
And not with me.
Yeah. All right.
But no, I'm excited. I'm excited to go.
Okay.
with
I just have a
us.
couple of questions, and I hope these are not considered
Please
rude.
go. Please go.
Because this is all
Friends.
a lot. Yeah.
What's a lot?
Let me just say this, because I don't want any problems. Are you picking up the check?
100%.
All right. I don't want at the end of the night. Do you had a Diet Coke? You
First of all, never have we ever been
never.
like
No,
that.
we're not like that at all. But you never know.
Of course, we are treating you, and
Thank you.
Liz has to pay for herself, but we are treating you.
Well, sometimes people would do things like that.
No, we're happy.
Okay.
to.
The
More
other
than
one
happy.
is now,
Yes.
okay, now that I
Yes.
know that, what are my ordering parameters? And
There
don't
is no ordering
Okay.
parameters. I do. You are not an over orderer.
Never.
Old Heather was. New Heather is not an over orderer.
Okay.
So I do like sharing.
I know that.
And
Which I'm good with.
So like I like, they have some really good apps and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like split maybe 2 or 3 entrees, but get a couple and kind of share or not.
Yeah.
So
I'm
fine.
always happy with your ordering.
And we do the dessert. We're driving. I know you're not a big boozer, but you're welcome to get a fancy martini. You can order a nice glass of wine.
Right.
Being that we all drink different things, I don't think we'll be doing bottles of wine. I think we'll be doing,
Yeah.
I mean, I already know what I'm getting. I'm going to get like this cucumber martini thing that they make for me.
Oh.
And then I'll probably get like a glass of white wine with dinner.
Okay. And that's it.
I'm only going to have 2 glasses of wine because I'm going out tomorrow night to the Vanderpump Dog Ball, and Raven has been invited.
None of that makes any. I don't even. You might have. Those 10 words made no sense to me whatsoever.
She has a ball for the dog charity.
Raven is
my dog.
Your dog. Yes. Right.
Raven's been invited.
Yeah.
So we are going to go. First, they said there's no room for Peter. I said no problem.
Okay.
Then they said there is room. So I'm like, all right, Peter. And they said, and your pup is welcome. And I'm like, Raven's a rescue, kind of. She is. I mean, she aged out of, dog trafficking.
Yeah.
She was a breeder dog.
Uh-huh.
And so she has a great story. She was a former showgirl who didn't make it. And so I'm like, this is a great story. So she is going to come with us to the red carpet. Drake will then drop us off and then take the dog home after red carpet.
Oh, this is
And
all
then
exciting.
we'll just Uber home. But that's 2 nights in a row. That's a lot for Peter. He's going to have to nap in the day.
Yeah, that is a lot.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
For me, nothing. For me, I could go out every night.
I know.
And still work out and still be happy to wake up at 6. But
now, when you're dancing in La Quinta in restaurants, do people know that's about to happen? I watched the videos.
Nobody knows.
No, because I try to look at their faces and like, are people happy about this, or is this?
Was Shannon, my sister's?
Are they going to call the police?
Shannon's good friend was there. Who's my friend too.
Okay.
And Shannon didn't come out with us that night because she was getting ready for a trip. She's always invited. And she said that she got a text from her friend, said, now this just happened. And it was her sister dancing.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, Shannon, are you sad that you missed the fun night out? Do you have FOMO? And she goes, not really. I think it's best that I go, that your reputation's not ruined.
Right.
She is an attorney in the town,
It is a fine line.
It's a fine line. So, people were saying, I can't wait for, to see Heather's videos 5 weeks from now saying we will only be eating from home now because she has been banned.
Because honestly, if your hair was a little more messed up and you had like a couple of plastic bags in your hands, the cops would have tackled you.
100%. And as I age, it's getting close.
Okay.
It's getting close to like
right. But it's
sexy
also
girl
fun.
or crazy old lady.
Right.
Shouldn't be wearing that skirt. Yeah.
That's fun. Well, at least it's still fun.
It's all fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Next story. This is an amazing crime. Okay.
Yeah.
Sad, very sad. So this woman, she lives in Utah. She was married to this guy who was successful and he had a successful business and they had 3 kids. And she has just been arrested for his murder. Prosecutors saying that she poisoned him with fentanyl in their home on March 4th, 2022.
Yeah.
Right before then, there was an argument that he didn't want to purchase this 20,000 square foot, $2+ million home. Even before it's finished, it was $2 million, which is, huge deal in Utah, I think, for like to have he didn't want to pay for it. They fought about that. Then she made him a Moscow Mule. And then she went and fell asleep in her kid's room reading them a book.
Yeah.
Woke, and then he didn't wake up. And then, right away, after he was killed, she was like, I probably got him cremated, though I don't know for sure. But then she found him at 3 a.m., woke up, called 911, and then told the police that she had left the phone in her bedroom. But there's reports showing that the phone was used many times in the children's bedroom. So like she was like, oh,
and there's also reports of her like ordering fentanyl online or something. Right? Yeah.
So what happened was now there were multiple communications between her and an unnamed acquaintance. And she also requested prescription pain meds for an investor back in December 2021. So there's all this suspicious stuff. And she also told them to leave these pills back in 2021 at a house flipping. And then she left cash for them. So she was comfortable buying stuff.
Right.
However, I mean, there's a lot. He has one of his 2 sisters told the investigators that he called her from a vacation in Greece quite a few years ago, claiming that he believes she made him a drink that made him violently ill.
Oh.
So he was just, and she
So
also said
perhaps
that
tried
Eric,
this before.
thought that Corey, the wife, tried to kill him all the time. Eric also held a joint life insurance policy with his business partner named Cody, and that his wife had unsuccessfully tried to change it in January. The woman tried to change it back in January 22, but it didn't happen. Then Corey, the wife, allegedly attempted to make herself the sole beneficiary of the policy, but the insurance company notified the men, the partner and him, of change, and they were able to fix it. Eric then removed Corey, the wife, from his will and replaced her with his sister. He did not inform Corey of the change because, according to his sisters, he believed she might kill him for the money, which he wanted to go to his children. Well, then, of course, she killed him, thinking she's going to get this money and be able to buy the house. The day after his death, Corey ended up, so he dies. The next day, she's like, yeah, I'm going to close on that $2 million home that she wanted to flip. And also threw a large party at the home.
Yeah. Anytime there's a party the day after, we got a problem, right? So many people do the party.
Like
Lori Vallow did a party.
Which I'll talk about Lori Vallow in a minute, update on her. But she did a party too.
Yeah.
Well, the party was planned. They already bought the bags of ice. What do you want them to do? Let it melt just because your husband died?
That's a good point. Yeah.
Eric did not want him. Eric did not want her to buy the house because he thought it was too expensive. Then she hosted the large house party the day after she died, signing closing papers. Okay, so that all happened. And of course, then she was very upset about this will. And she was suing one of the sisters.
Right.
Before someone has come forward saying, I sold all this fentanyl to her. The best part is, during her time of mourning, she decided to write a children's book. Are you with me? And it appears to be one of her little boys. But look, coming out of the clouds is the guy
up there in heaven
with wings.
Yeah.
Is the husband that she killed.
Yeah.
She went and did some press for it and sold some copies. And
I bet she's selling a lot of copies now. I wonder if it's like, I went to the sale because everybody knows about this story.
Can we look up buying that book? I need to buy that book. Good point. Really one of the most blatant. I mean, this girl is the demographic of the person who reads and watches Dateline.
Right.
And really listens to Juicy Scoop.
Uh-huh.
Mother of 3. I mean, here's the thing. Yes, you're right. The party's an awful idea. I also think booking plastic surgery, especially a boob job, right after the funeral, you got to wait about 6 months. Even 6 months, I think 6 months? I think 6 months could be okay.
Because then it looks like, you're distraught and you don't know what you're doing.
Also, he told the sisters he believed she was having multiple affairs throughout the whole marriage.
Oh.
I think the first time you think your wife's killing you, maybe don't accept any more food or drink from her.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially a Moscow Mule. I feel that's a weird one to make at home.
I do too. It's like a mojito.
I know.
It's a lot of effort.
Like, let's just stick with a vodka cranberry. Like, what do you do? Do you have a copper cup? No, we're not doing it. Oh,
it's been taken off Amazon, probably because they were like, we don't want to be associated with this. Anyway, may I suggest an independent bookstore that it doesn't have a lot of people come. Book Soup, get on this shit.
Yeah, snatch up a couple of copies of this and sell it for $100 a copy. Now it's a collector's item.
I do think the fentanyl thing is so weird because it's like, that you could get it. It's probably very easy to get, but someone must have come forward, whoever sold it to her. So there's someone that spilled it. But like, I do think, and then she told everybody, he had, he had drug problems. He had, she said all that in case it did come up. Yeah.
And now the party, this is where I get concerned about the party.
Yes.
Because the people, like friends would come over. I feel like that, it's strange enough that the person is doing it who's murdered their husband. It's even stranger that people come.
Well, now as a defense attorney for her, I would say she closed on the house. And I'm sorry. I know every time I've been around anyone that's lost someone, the first thing we do is all come over.
Yeah, but
And
that's a little
oftentimes you
different.
bring wine and everything
Right.
like that.
Oh, okay.
You maybe don't have a DJ, and I don't know that she had a DJ.
Well, I don't think
but
you
I
have a
think you
DJ.
can have a Brent's Deli platter and wine.
Okay.
And even though someone died, there could be some
Yeah,
chuckling
people
going
do.
on.
I've seen that happen. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
So that would be the
That's a
defense.
good point.
That it
That is,
wasn't
that's
a-
not a bad defense.
No.
But did she have a DJ? Because that would be a problem. Or bubble machine or something like that. That would be a
If they had
problem.
DJ James Kennedy,
That'd be a problem.
Sandoval is a liar. Yeah. Then that would be really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just dumb criminal. Just.
Yeah, it's tough. Murder's tough. Like
It's
getting
really
getting
hard.
away with it's tough.
It's really hard to get away with killing your spouse.
Yeah.
You know.
Because it's an easy, if you're doing anything like you said, like buying grocery bags at 7-Eleven
Yeah.
at 3:00 in the morning or whatever, or any type of fentanyl or, these things, I feel like they always leave a trace on Google.
I mean, I have to say, if someone saw that I bought a bunch of cleaning supplies,
Right. We got a problem.
we got a real problem.
Yeah.
Because I'm lucky enough to have my housekeeper who I've had for many years.
Right.
And then she says what we need. And Peter goes and gets it.
Yeah.
And so, like, if all of a sudden I was just like going hog wild in the bleach aisle,
Right.
that would look real. And it was right after Peter went missing after a golf thing.
I also feel in your case,
Yeah.
Peter's a big guy.
I'm done.
Like just getting
No,
the body.
I would have to get the boys to help me.
Yeah.
So I would have to they would have to be in on it with me and be completely down to also get rid of him.
Now, if the boys say no, who's your next call to
You.
move?
I feel like
I'm on my way.
I feel like you have a wheelbarrow at your
Yeah.
house.
I do actually, yeah, and a pretty strong, sturdy one too. I'll be able to carry Peter. We'd have to get him in the wheelbarrow, which would be a whole other ordeal.
I know. I just don't know how I can do anything without the boys now.
Yeah,
Like, yeah.
that's yeah, okay. Well,
Luckily, I'm not planning on that.
No.
Lori Vallow, world's worst mother in the world. She did get convicted. So she was found guilty for murdering her 2 kids and plotting to kill the husband. That was the one that her brother shot right before she got with husband number 5,
Yeah.
Chad Daybell. The husband she killed was husband number 4. And then her former nephew, he was married to her niece, just released a statement asking for forgiveness for her. That was kind of weird.
mhm.
He was saying that she is not evil, but it is necessary for her to serve time for these crimes. You think?
Yeah,
After she's sentenced, she is going to be extradited to Arizona. That is where the crime against husband number 4 happened, in the killing of the 4th husband named Charles Vallow. So that right now, for the crimes of her kid, she's charged with life in prison, and she was newly in love, with the Doomsdale cult enthusiast Chad Daybell, and now Chad Daybell's, who's where the kids were found on his property, and his wife was also died mysteriously before
Yeah.
they got married. His trial now is going to happen.
okay,
And I always think it's like, all right, you got life in prison. I know we have to go back to Arizona, but like, I don't understand why these people can't just get together and the Arizona person being like, we don't need to take the court time.
No, that's
we
what
don't
I'm
need
thinking.
we don't
yeah.
need the person
Why
to
is
go
this
on the
taking...
plane with her.
Right,
She's got life in prison.
I know.
Why do we have to now do this whole other trial in Arizona unless the DA just wants that airtime, which a lot of DAs like
Right.
that stage time. I mean, the only other job I wanted to do besides being an actress would be like a like do what my sister does and be
Right.
on stage.
Yeah,
Like I didn't want to be a tax attorney. I'm like, if any attorney, I've got to be like a murder attorney.
right. One that walks around,
Otherwise-
gets to prance around, and
Yes.
lean on the
Otherwise,
the
there's no
jury
fun.
box. Yeah,
There's no fun in being an attorney unless
Right.
like you have an audience.
Yeah, I agree.
So, anyway,
Yeah, can I speak on behalf of Sarah?
Please.
Can everyone
Sarah
stop
Colonna.
telling Sarah Colonna that she looks like Lori Vallow? She wrote me the other day. She goes, "Who's Lori Vallow?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a woman who murdered her children." She goes, "Why does everyone keep telling me I look like her?" So, yeah,
does.
yeah. Sarah wants everyone to stop telling her she looks like Lori Vallow.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So, anyway,
You know, Sarah's a pretty girl, and there
yeah,
was a
I think it's just the
time-
hair.
There was a time everyone thought she looked like Tan Mom.
That was a rough one.
We made her Tan Mom at Chelsea
Yeah,
lately,
yeah.
but Lori Vallow was a pageant winner.
I know.
She was, I I mean, not to bring up pageant people, but there's an oddness about pageant people,
Oh,
myself
completely.
included.
Yeah.
Miss Tarzana contest that I was in.
You were in Miss Tarzana?
I
I live in Tarzana.
I know.
I would have voted for you had I been there at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, it makes you odd. She was in a Mrs.
That's a weird one.
So weird.
Yeah, that's
like,
a weird
come
one.
on.
I remember they
prancing
used to
around,
televise.
showing off your abs after giving birth.
Yeah, they
Who
used
cares?
to televise that, the Mrs.
Yeah.
pageant. And the daughters would like tell how much they loved their mom, like into a microphone. It was very strange as they pranced around. Yeah. The days
Remember Toddlers in Tears, where then that kid would be all dressed up and then they'd show the audience and it was just a bunch of out of shape people with big T-shirts on and
Yeah.
and it's just their parents and like nobody else in the audience.
Right. And
So
they're just like
weird.
sitting in like like a
Folding chairs.
conference room
Yes.
in a Sheraton. And they got to get it done by 12 because we got another thing coming in here. IBM's coming to do their luncheon. So can we move this along? Give it to that girl, whatever, whoever.
Oh God, horrible.
But anyway, didn't
Yes.
they go to Hawaii? Like, wasn't
Yes,
right?
when the kids were missing,
Yeah.
and she just kept evading, so I'm sure that was part of her crimes
Yeah.
too, was not cooperating. They followed them, and they had just been married in Hawaii, and they were walking to the beach,
Yeah.
and they're like not talking to anybody. And at that time, the kids were completely deceased.
And now, like you were saying, can we speed these things up? I feel like this is one we could have sped up. Like, your kids are missing. There's been 2 murders in your family now. Her husband and his wife. So right there, so many red flags are like, let's just arrest them. Like, they're guilty of something.
I know. I'm always like, what is it? Like the people going to the DAs and they're like, we don't have a body. Well, no one's heard from the kids in 3 months.
Right.
Like, but then also it becomes that weird thing. Like, is it Idaho? Is it Arizona? Is it Hawaii? Is it because they were in all these different states?
Yeah.
And then all those people have to get together and have to call the FBI. And then everyone's like, it's my case, asshole. And I'm
Yeah,
like, why
right,
can't you
right.
get work together?
No.
Maybe the millennials who want to work very little time are like, fine, you can have it.
Yeah.
That's where police work's going to change.
It's going to change for the
And the
lazy
Gen
millennials
Zs,
get involved.
Because they're going to be like, I don't care. You can
Right.
have the case.
Take the case.
All the 50-year-olds are like, it's
Yeah.
my case.
It's going to screw up a lot of 80s movies when the angry guy's like, it's my case, get out of town or whatever. That was always a key plot point. In
No,
like
the
those
Gen
80s
Zs
movies.
they'll just text each other and be like,
Yeah.
that's okay. You can take that murder case.
Yeah, I think Lethal Weapon, like the whole thing was like, go home, Riggs and Murdoch, whatever. This is our case now. And they always wore a suit, and Mel Gibson would have to go home. Back to his trailer. Boy.
This is Kanye's wife.
Yes.
He has a new line of clothing coming out that is so disturbing, or it's not, or it's to get Juicy Scoop to talk about him.
Yeah.
I feel like this girl is absolutely been sucked into a weird Kanye cult.
Yeah.
I looked her up. She is from Australia. She's very pretty.
Mhm.
She was like kind of a model. She had her own like little jewelry line of chokers and stuff. She went to graduate school for architecture, but it's like not building a building. It's like architecture for clothing. It's very weird.
Okay.
Then she got hired by him like in 2020
Right.
and was working with him. And then, of course, he divorces Kim. And then all of a sudden they get married right away, allegedly because he was so Christian, no sex before marriage.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, he puts his wife in these leggings, everything I predicted, where I said the people are just getting up more and more naked.
Yeah.
It's just a piece of masking tape on just the vagina.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then a piece of like black cloth on the boobs, of side boob. Then this is the back, which is a cross because they're Christian. It's black
Yeah.
masking tape around her butthole. And then she has these boots on that are like, the witchy poo Balenciaga.
Oh, there
This
it
was
is.
part of the fashion show. Which
Oh, it looks
is,
like they got a wound or something, like a chest wound.
and they're dressed like the Manson girls who all shaved their heads and put crosses on their foreheads.
Yeah.
And then they're wearing just gross underwear and white underwear. And then they have white masking tape around their tits. This is the fashion show. And so they all look like they're Charles Manson's cult people.
Yeah.
Just like so weird.
And that's his new. He's not supposed to.
This is his new thing. And then
He's
he
not
was seen.
selling
I don't know
these
if
out
I
in
have
the
a
real world, right? I mean, is that just for a fashion show
I don't
or
know, but he is
this
selling.
is not at the Gap?
He is walking around selling jeggings, leggings,
Okay.
yeggings
Right.
for men. So he's wearing like Lululemon pants he's wearing, and then he's wearing, I thought I had a picture of it, but then he's got like basically motorcycle boots on that go like if you're going to like, fall off a motorcycle, then your knees would be protected.
Yeah.
If you have these big boots on, that's what he's wearing.
I saw
out
him.
while she's wearing like, just low leggings and like a very tiny crop top with like the nips hard.
Yeah.
When she doesn't have to walk around doing this. Or she doesn't have to have I just am like, if she was my daughter or my sister and I'm in Australia, I'd be like, my God, we need to get an intervention and we need to get her out of this mess. And like, are they hanging out with the kids? Do the kids see her? And do the kids write her Happy Mother's Day, stepmom? Like, or is she just in the back, just being like, what do I wear today, Kanye?
Yeah.
Like, I made sure there's no hair on my vagina so you can put a masking tape on it and I can go walk around and get coffee.
Get that pussy tape.
Then he goes to Gospel Day.
Wow.
Then he was like all Christian-y.
Yeah.
And then yet when he was with Kim, he said that she dressed too provocatively to be a mother of 4.
Right.
And then this girl, it's like, I just can't.
How do you feel about what I've been hearing about Kim Kardashian and Tom Brady?
Oh.
I'm hearing rumors. I'm sure it's a rumor.
So she
she
borrowed his car or his golf cart in the Bahamas and she was looking at property.
Yeah.
I think it's publicity.
Sure.
Could she act horny enough to be into him and screw him a few times?
Yeah.
Sure. I don't think it's the first time.
He doesn't strike me as the type of guy who's out there. Like a Kim Kardashian type wouldn't be his speed, I don't think.
No, but if she just shows up and is so charming, I think, like, sure, of course they could have like a quick romance. Of course they could bone and enjoy each other's bodies.
I feel like he's
I
the
don't think
hot
it's
new
gonna-
bachelor. Everybody wants him.
And it's great publicity, and why not screw him? It's not like she's saving herself for marriage, so it's like, go for it.
I heard Reese Witherspoon, too, and Tom Brady. Did you hear that one? Yeah.
That sounds like
rumors.
a better match.
Yeah. Whether these are true or not. They were seen walking in the same restaurant, whatever. But then people make more out of it. Like me right now.
Yeah, I think that could be good.
Right.
This girl died. She was trying to look like Kim Kardashian. She had the huge boobs and a huge ass. And they have arrested someone in her death. It was this woman that did her injections.
In a hotel room somewhere.
In California.
Yeah.
I thought I was like shocked it was in our country.
It was in a weird hotel room. Yeah.
So I'm just so glad that as many comments as I get, why don't you get a BBL, Heather, that I just have said no.
But is that Brazilian butt lift?
Yeah.
How does that work? What do they put inside?
They take the fat from your body.
Okay.
Like suck it out here and there, and then they put it in your ass.
But they put it in the cheeks.
They put it in the cheeks, they shape it.
Right.
But also, if you don't have enough fat in your body to put in your ass, then they fill it with filler like they would in your face, but then that won't last forever.
But in some cases, like maybe this woman who died,
it was like
they're
silicone or something.
using like cement and stuff.
They're using the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you die.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I don't think you're supposed to. Yeah, that's a. Anyway, she really does look like Kim Kardashian.
I know, it's sad, but
it is a sad story.
Meanwhile, Julia Fox is still a weirdo, and she's just out calling paparazzi while she puts gas in her car wearing just underwear and a blazer. Like,
What is? I mean, we're done with her, right?
I don't know. Sometimes she says some kind of interesting things, like on her TikTok. But other than that, I don't know what the point of her is.
She's not an actor.
No.
Yeah, so I don't know what she does.
She's good abs.
Yeah.
Okay, now get ready for this story, Chris.
Oh.
And I'm sorry we are talking about it.
Oh.
Bring on your 1-star reviews. I'm talking about it.
Okay, go ahead.
I feel I can speak on this.
Yeah.
I am a woman. I am a sorority girl.
Okay.
At the University of Wyoming,
Mm-hmm.
Kappa Kappa Gamma.
Okay.
Annie, member of Kappa Kappa Gamma, so is her sister.
Is that right?
Yes.
Whoa, look at that.
I'm Gamma Phi Beta.
Yeah.
And in this sorority, what happens for those that don't know, I wondered how much it might have changed, so I wanted to ask the younger girls. We'd have this thing called Rush. The girls would go to all the houses. You can't just pick them like the guys. You have to go to all the houses, and then you get your card, and they say, these 4 houses would like to see you again. You've been dropped by these, whatever. and you keep meeting
Okay.
people. And then when you're on the other side and you're looking for the recruits, you talk to your sorority sisters and you say, okay, when you meet these people, like score them and tell us what you like about them. But also don't be somebody that just because they're nice to you, think, are they going to enjoy being around us for the next 4 years? Because we might not be the right house for them. Another house maybe that isn't ranked as high in society of the campus, but just all based on looks. Really.
Okay. Yeah.
Might be a better vibe, you know? So
Right.
then
Is this still happening in
yes,
today's society?
yes, and the HBO Max
is-
show is coming out
Yeah. On what?
about the Alabama rush.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So this is an interesting time to talk about this topic. So then what would happen is then we would like rank the girls, and the girls then they would go on preference night. And
Who ranks the girls?
we would sort of rank the girls, but the top people in our house would sort of say yes, and they'd have an advisor from national that would say, I think these girls would be great.
Okay.
But also, if you're not the top house, we may not get our top people. But we
Right.
got to fill it because we need the dues, and our house is huge, and we want to
Yeah.
have a pledge class of 45 girls. Okay,
Right.
depending on like the university. So then we would go through that and do that, but we would, in my day, which is early 90s, we would say, now think about it, you guys. Would you set this girl up with your boyfriend's best friend?
Okay.
And that's an important thing to think about, because if the answer is no, then this girl's not going to be included
Right.
as she should be in the social circle. She's going to be left out.
If anyone has a child like
Yes.
I do right now,
Yes.
a woman,
Yes.
female, my
Yes.
daughter, I would forcibly stop her from doing something like
Well,
this.
I will encourage her to, and I will
Never-
write her a letter of
Never,
recommendation.
Never.
Well, you're a man and I'm a
never
woman.
would I put her through such.
Well,
that
anyway,
thing.
once
Anyway,
you
go
get
on.
into the right house,
Yeah.
it can really make your college experience really fun, because you don't have to worry
Sure.
about where I'm going for the game, whatever. You go to the house. Everybody meet at the house at noon. We're all walking over to the Coliseum together. You have instant friends. You make friends. You have a place to
So
live
there's
for 3
like
years.
positives to it.
There's so many positives to it.
Outside of people who
Once you get in the
judging
right,
you on looks.
yeah, once you get in the right place.
Right.
But okay, now what's happening here is
Mhm.
there are now several girls. I don't know how many, between like 7 and 12,
Okay.
that are suing Kappa Kappa Gamma, the national of them, and maybe even the university. I'm not sure.
Right.
They have an attorney because they pledged a transgender woman.
Oh.
This transgender woman doesn't live in the house, but will be living there in the fall.
Right.
And she has, according to this lawsuit, has male genitalia, has been aroused by them, has been staring at them,
Oh.
is lurking around. Now, the other part about it is this woman is right here in the picture. Do you see?
Yeah.
Now you can see the other girls.
This is a comical. This is
Literally
real?
looks like a sketch. It's
Yeah.
real. It's real.
Okay. Yeah.
What I'm saying is this is not the trans woman.
This looks like a Chris Farley movie poster.
This is not the trans woman, pre-2020 trans woman.
Right.
Who got the surgery,
Right.
really wanted to pass as trans-looking woman.
Yeah.
This woman is 6'2" and 260 pounds,
Right.
and is wearing a beanie, and
That says Kappa on it. Look,
Yep.
already promoting the brand.
is not. This is not Dylan Mulvaney
Right.
trans woman.
Yeah.
This is not that. This is
Mhm.
not Gigi Gorgeous. This is not, So anyway, so she's there, but it's mainly they're feeling uncomfortable about it.
Okay.
And they finally are like, no, this just isn't right. And they are suing. So then my question was, well, like, didn't they all vote on her? And
Yeah.
so in the investigation work I've done, apparently it's my opinion that the national, through the last 3 and 4 years of what's going on in society, is really encouraged diversity, really encouraged, picking the girls that aren't exactly like you.
Right.
And part of that was trans.
Right.
So they chose this woman, trans woman, to join. And now these girls are like, I'm not having the experience I thought I'd have. I'll never get these years back. You cannot pledge one house and the next year pledge another. They're done. They can
Right.
only be a Kappa whether they leave the school or not. That's it. So they want to make their experience right. They want her kicked out. She's not leaving.
Okay.
And but my thing is, if she was a biologically born female,
Mm-hmm.
who was 6'2" and 280 pounds.
Yeah.
They would have never chosen her. They would have never chosen her.
Okay, sure.
Because
but that's something wrong with that too.
I don't understand. This is Juicy Scoop. This is my opinion. If you don't like it, find another podcast. I have to speak up on this.
Gotcha.
Because I am telling you the truth. If it was a biological woman, 6'2", 280 pounds, she would have not been the pledge.
Right.
But because she's a trans woman and they were trying to set something in motion.
Sure.
Thought they were being nice or whatever. Now this girl is there. And that girl, this trans woman, is not having a good time. Or maybe she is because she's, apparently like whacking off in the corner. I don't know what she's doing.
Yeah.
They're not comfortable.
Right.
And so now the lawsuit is going.
Yeah. I'll say this. There are some people
Yes.
who can sit in a group of women and not just whack off in the corner. I'm one of them. I can sit amongst women.
Of
10,
course.
20,
That's
30 people. And
Yeah,
I'll never feel the need to whack off in the corner.
I don't know if this woman was whacking off, but they don't feel safe with
Right.
this person around.
Okay.
Also, just, again, a very large human, but also a male biological human
Right.
is now in their safe space. So the
Uh-huh.
sororities were built 200 years ago because there were so few girls going to college.
Right.
They were like, here's a safe place for you that you can live in this house and support each other and
Yeah.
all this other stuff. And now this isn't.
It's not safe anymore.
Another case that happened was this
I'm going to guess it's probably pretty safe still. That's just my opinion.
at the Kappa house
Yeah.
with this person around.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, Chris?
I get it.
I don't want to say from the last
yeah.
discussion
Uh-huh.
because, a lot of people sided with you. A lot of
No,
people.
not many.
Well, I just
Yeah.
want to say, as a woman,
Right. I don't
that
have an opinion.
I think if one
You're
girl
right.
loses a scholarship, if one girl gets physically
too many.
hurt playing, if one person is affected in the prison system, if one person doesn't have the experience that she deserves to have when she's at college with this infinite
Okay.
amount of years, that's one too many, and it's not
Right.
okay.
Okay.
And so it's like, it's just not okay, and I'm just done with this because I don't even feel like if someone wants to be a trans woman and go into my bathroom and go into the stall, I have no problem with that. I really
Right.
don't.
Yeah.
But locker rooms and stuff with male genitalia being
Right.
exposed to young girls, no,
Right.
not okay.
Okay, my only opinion and what I tried to say last time was,
Yes.
don't you think there are larger issues in the world?
No, I don't.
Oh, please. They're
What do you mean
shooting
larger?
children in schools.
I know, but we don't
Why-
talk. We don't talk about it.
I know,
People
but-
would say that about my show. Why are you talking about Vanderpump Breakup? That's not my show.
Right. Oh,
No,
agreed, but
this is a large issue because if we don't nip it in the bud now, there will be no more sororities. There will be no more.
that's
yes,
not
yes.
true.
Yes,
it's
it
just
is.
not true. This is
I
come
think it's worth
on.
talking about.
All right,
I'm glad
that's
these
fair, and
these-
I think it's hysteria.
these girls
so
were-
why can't
right.
I have my opinion?
Because you can, but these
Yeah.
girls were afraid to come forward, just like the girls were afraid to come forward on the swim team with Leah Thompson. The only one that came forward was Riley. Like, because they're afraid, I was afraid to come forward. I was afraid to talk about it.
Bed bugs. Do you remember bed bugs? Remember when we all were freaking out about bed bugs? We wouldn't go into hotel rooms.
I'm
we
not
wouldn't buy
freaking-
clothes
listen.
from. Let me finish.
Yes.
We wouldn't buy clothes from or Abercrombie and Fitch because of bed bugs. Bed bugs. We all, and it was on every. The New York Post was obsessed with it.
Yes.
Bed bugs are everywhere, and we were freaking out. We wouldn't. Everybody, I can't go into that hotel room. There are bed bugs. And then a few weeks later, you didn't hear anything. Everybody sleeps in hotel rooms. You don't hear anything about bed bugs.
I don't think this is going,
This is-
but this isn't going away. There
This
are
is driven by the New York Post.
no, it's not. These are
Yeah,
real
well-
cases. So you're saying these girls all made this up? This is
No,
like
I'm
a
not saying that.
conspiracy?
No, I'm not saying
This
that
is
at
a
all.
real
I'm saying
thing.
that these are
So this is a
actual
real thing.
stories.
This is a real. Okay, another
Right.
story that happened was this is a real story.
Okay.
It's either Ohio or Idaho. I'm sorry, I get those states mixed up. Okay, but one of those states, a transgender woman went into the YMCA and they was arrested because male genitalia was exposed to women. So
Sure.
indecent proposal.
Sure.
She
These
went,
are all outlier
hold on.
situations.
She went on. I know, but why do we have to put up with it? So
You
then
don't.
she put up. So they arrest her.
Okay.
There's a trial, and the defense says, I don't believe these women and some of their daughters were traumatized by seeing male genitalia because my transgender client is so obese that her fupa covered her genitalia.
Oh, yeah?
And the male judge sided with the woman and
yeah.
said, too bad, ladies.
Right.
we don't believe that you saw the dick because the
Right.
person was so obese.
Okay.
So I guess we just won't. So here's the thing. If you want to go to the gym, whatever, take a shower at home. I
never go in the gym shower.
I don't use the gym shower. Like, go take the shower at home.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. Like, I have no problem. You can go rowing at the rowing situation in the marina. Don't take a spot from a girl at Harvard.
Right.
Like, that's it. Like, you can be who you want to be. If you were a hair model and you shaved your head, you shouldn't expect to still get a modeling contract for hair products.
Right.
Like, you can't have it all.
Okay. I've been.
You cannot have it all.
Got it.
And bring it on, people. They're going to be mad at me. But like I said, I have nothing with people living their life. It just shouldn't infringe on the rights and opportunities and safety of biological women who want to have these things that we've had for hundreds of years.
Got it.
The luxury I had in 1988 of joining a sorority did not include, am I going to one day have to share a 5-woman room with a biological male? That
Right.
was not part of me paying $500 a month and my dues and everything living in this house. That was not part of it. So I think it is smart of these girls to do it because they are protecting the future of the institution of sororities for the future to come. If they didn't say anything, there could be 10 sororities like this next year. And then there could be 30. And then it's all co-ed. And then it's
Right.
and then it's a private institution. They don't have to do it. They don't have to include people that they don't want to include.
Okay. I want you to know that now because you went down this road.
Go down it.
I am now going to get 700 comments
Okay.
where they don't have a picture. It's just a soaring eagle. Is their picture on Instagram?
Picture it. A picture.
Yeah, and the eagle's carrying a flag, and then these are the people who are going to attack me for. I'm not saying anything on this one. I'm out.
Listen. I just because I fainted after saying I was
Right.
vaccinated.
Yeah.
That was the worst thing that happened to me. First, I thought it was great because I got a viral video out of it.
Mhm.
No, the liberals think that I am on the side of the anti-vaxxers.
Right.
And the conservatives think I'm a libtard that got vaccinated so many times. They're like, why are you still living, you vaxxing whore?
Right.
So
right.
I'm like, I literally gained not one fan in the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
And all I did was get vaccinated, joke about it, and faint.
Yeah. I know people come up to me at the shows. They're like, "How's your friend?"
They're like angry.
I know.
Like, why are you mad
Right.
at me? If you're a Christian, aren't you
Yeah.
happy that I lived?
Yeah, I'm happy that you.
I
lived.
mean,
Yeah.
you
Not
know,
after the
how's
last-
that fourth jab,
Yeah.
whore? I'm like, I don't know. Like, anyway, so
Can
there
I
you go.
also say that
Please.
in this picture, which is hilarious,
It literally is an SNL sketch from they couldn't do this SNL sketch
this
today.
could literally be a
is
movie.
10 years ago.
Yeah, this is Jack Black missed the perfect opportunity for a role.
Yeah.
Or Chris Farley, or you name it. And I don't think she has champagne. The only one without champagne in this one. I don't know if that's a problem.
Again, it's not the right place for her. She could be included at a better situation on campus than joining Kappa Kappa Gamma.
This picture looks so comical. Have we done the background check that this is not like a setup? Because it is.
It is real. No, because I saw another photo of her,
Okay.
and they've already done news conferences.
Yeah.
So I do know this is 100% real.
Right. All right. Well.
Okay.
Now I'm more fascinated. And I don't like it's. I'm more fascinated by the sorority. I remember my wife telling me about it. Like
She was in a house too at USC.
I believe so, at USC,
yes,
yeah.
that's where
And
we get along.
And they walked down the street and the guys would sit out on there
And whistle at us. I loved it.
Oh my God,
I loved it.
But I have a daughter.
It's a good time.
No, I could.
They don't do
never
that
let her-
anymore.
I thank God.
Well, it was fun. I remember.
I'm not saying it's not.
Let me just tell you,
I'm not
after
saying it's
being
not.
4 years at an all-girl
Right.
high school, when I got to SC and I walked down the row and I saw shirtless guys playing volleyball to music and being like, "Hey, what's up?"
I get it.
I was like,
Of course.
I'm in fucking heaven.
Right. No, I get it.
I loved walking past their porches on Friday as they got drunk and whistled at me like construction workers.
Yeah. You're an attractive lady.
Loved it.
There are other people who maybe the whistles don't happen, and then it'll affect them the rest of their lives.
No, it doesn't.
Like this gal.
Let me have my fun. Anyway.
No, of course I'll let you have your fun.
Good.
I get it. Look,
Meanwhile,
I don't care.
Bud
Listen,
Light,
I'll
Bud
be honest
Light
with
went
you.
down.
I'll be
but
honest
I don't
with
care.
you.
I will still drink a Bud Light. I don't care. I like Bud Light, and I like Dylan. It's not Dylan's fault, by the way. It's not Dylan's Mulaney's fault that everybody gave her all these deals.
Yeah.
Is it
Mulvaney.
It's not Dylan Mulvaney's fault that everyone gave her these deals.
Right.
So don't hate on her. Take your money when you can take it.
Right.
You know? But Bud Light, it was not a great move for them, apparently.
The funny thing was, it wasn't even a move. They just made one can with her face on it. But this is what. But you're kind of saying about hysteria.
No, it was not in again. Yeah. And she was also not a spokesperson for Tampax. That was not true.
Right.
She held up Tampaxes while she was saying, "This is my 10th day of being a woman. How do these things work?" And she kind of mocked it, which people didn't like.
Yeah.
But she was not a spokesperson for Tampax.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Britney Spears, The Price of Freedom, TMZ
did
a documentary.
Get killed on this one now.
Did a documentary on her. I have to say, just to review the documentary, our friend Dr. Drew was on it.
Yes.
But really, if you watched her Instagram, there is absolutely no new information this gave. They basically had people saying she still could make a lot of money if she went and did a show. Yeah, we know that. She hasn't talked to her kids, her boys, in a year. That's really sad.
Yeah.
I
hadn't really seen her kids talk too much, but you do see the kid. I don't know.
The kids are great.
They have some.
The kids are good-looking boys. I'm glad they have each other.
Can we finally agree that maybe Federline was kind of a decent father, or is he a horrible person? Seems like he's doing fine with those kids, right?
I think thank God for Kevin Federline.
Yeah.
And that is their home. That is he has another wife since her that he had a couple kids with.
Right.
They're probably their mother figure because, she's not there. And she's.
Yeah.
One thing that someone said was when someone's in her mental state, instead of when her sons express concern for her, a person like that does not see it as concern. They see it as you're betraying me.
Right.
You're betraying me. And they're like, no, I'm just like worried about you. I just want you to get better. Oh, you want me to get better? Why don't you just do everything? I just wanted some coffee to drive my car. The boys are just like, the boys love her, but at this time they're just like, they can't deal with it. And they're like, just come, hopefully in a few years they can come back together. But I don't blame the boys and I don't blame Kevin. I mean, and then, what's Kevin? And then all the fans, what's Kevin going to do when he stops getting that money? And she's like, when you all stop getting the money, they were going over those videos that she did. Like, I give you $40,000 a month, 20 for each kid, I guess. And that's going to stop when you're all 18. Then what?
Yeah.
And hopefully they will be successful and they're good looking kids. I mean, and hopefully they do whatever they want to do. But they said that she had $60 million. It's going way down. Sam, I mean, listen, I've said this. Sam's life cannot be a good time.
No.
It's not a good time. And everyone's like, oh, he gets to go to Hawaii and he gets to live in a Calabasas house. Let me tell you something.
Yeah, his Hawaii.
The fun of being with someone that has $60 million that lives in LA is that you also get to meet some other fun, interesting people and go to dinner at Craig's.
Right.
Why don't you get one drink at Joey's? They had to leave in Woodland Hills. There is no fun there. That's why he just goes and leaves and works out. And then he has to go see her. And then she's spinning around and it's not a good time. I mean, thank God she has him. But at the same time, how much is he really? I mean, I do think they love each other, but it's not like he's benefiting from a fabulous life here.
I do like the fact that TMZ they were probably out there looking for experts. Dr. Drew was very good on it. But they got, as the music expert, they got Paul Anka. That's what I was just about to say.
I literally said, I said, Annie, take a photo of this guy because.
Well, it's Paul Anka. He's very famous. If you're 90 years old, Paul Anka is very famous.
But I'm like, of all the people,
it's
they're
amazing.
And he's like, if she went to Vegas, she could still sell out. She's one of the top 5 performers. And then they show him black and white, his hit song, Put Your Head on My Shoulder.
That's so funny to me. I thought the same thing.
I'm like, Chris is going to die.
I'm dying.
That's why I'm like, Chris, even if you skim through this, I just need you because I need to talk about that. This was the music expert, which tells you that either everyone turned it down.
Right.
you know?
Yeah. Oh, but the fact that Paul Anka was, and in order to show who Paul Anka was, they play "Put Your Head on My Shoulder," which is to show how far things have changed. He had a hit song called "Put Your Head on My Shoulder," and now it's like "Park your Mack truck in my,"
I know.
I can't have sex with that big old dick.
I know.
And
I remember when the first time I heard that song, it was Potsy was singing it.
That's right.
On
Happy Days.
On Happy Days, because that was a movie, that show came out in the 70s that was about the 50s. And I was watching it going, oh, I'm in love with Potsy, this song,
Yeah.
But yeah, like, I mean, good for him. But I was like, really?
I know, but I think TMZ could have gotten, can we get
I mean, say the production value? It's just like, I don't know. I whatever.
Well, TMZ, they make these things on they don't,
no, it
budget.
was just her. But, she keeps going with her stuff. And I do have to read what she wrote in the last day after it came out.
Oh.
I'm so excited about this month. I'm remodeling 3 rooms in my house. I'm actually just getting white paint and going to repaint the rooms myself. I've never painted a room before, so I'm pretty excited. Don't laugh. My husband has given me free will to do whatever I want. Of course he has.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, here, paint. Here's some fumes.
Yeah, right.
Go paint the room by yourself for 3 days.
Yeah.
And I'm going to the gym.
And while you're in that room, cover the walls with rubber and stay in there.
My girlfriend also just redid her bathroom, and it's absolutely beautiful. What girlfriend? What girlfriend, Brittany? Who is this girlfriend?
The one girl, maybe she went to a bar with one girl.
No, there's no girlfriend that she went over to her house, and the girl, you're telling me there's some girl in Calabasas that's remodeling her own bathroom and painting it herself.
No.
That's friends with Brittany.
Yeah.
And then they go shopping for those weird like there isn't, I'm like, okay.
Wouldn't it be amazing if it was that girl from the sorority? The juicy scoop world would explode.
My friend all her sorority sisters are being real mean to her at the University of Wyoming.
Yeah.
So I said, girl, you come over. We are going to redo our bathrooms together.
Let's paint this room, Brittany. Fuck this Kappa bullshit.
Kappa Gamma.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay. She really inspired me. So if I'm not up to date with Instagram, don't worry, y'all. I'm an interior designer at the moment.
Wow. Listen, in the end, isn't it all, thank God I believe mentally I'm pretty normal, and not saying it's abnormal to have mental health issues, but like with Kanye earlier, like the guy's obviously got mental health issues, and so does she.
Yeah.
And so now you got to look at it that way.
Right.
Like, forget all this pre-Britney bullshit and all that. Like, this girl has mental health issues. Where do we go from here?
Yeah.
Because this is the person who she really is.
So
father or no father, or Sam Ashkari, no Ashkari. She's to spin around, singing.
Basically what Dr. Drew said is, without the conservatory, there's nobody making her go to therapy or stick to a regular medical amount. She doesn't have to take her pills or anything. And that's where people get in trouble.
So how do you change that? How do you
There's
get
nothing
somebody? Because Sam is
would
not doing it?
It would have to be, Sam would have to try. And I mean, he's not going to.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, there is no income coming in. She didn't take Spencer Pratt's advice to start an OnlyFans.
Is that?
Or even if she did Instagram subscription.
Yes. I know.
I mean, why not just do that then?
Yeah.
I wonder how many people would really sign up. I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either.
Because
you'd get nothing.
It would be the same.
Yeah, same thing.
But maybe her fans would.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
The fans are pretty quiet, as you'd say.
Anyway, I did.
But this
enjoy
one also
this
said,
thing.
she also said things about how she's starting ballet. She's starting ballet, and that it's summer and she's ready to sweat, and she's excited. And there you can go. And she said, I'm sticking to watermelon juice. All right. All right.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember this story. There was a follow-up.
I remember it well.
So there was this good-looking guy, and he was the Cash App founder, and he was found stabbed in the streets of San Francisco.
Yeah.
The first thought
3:00 in the morning.
Yes.
Yeah.
First thought was, what's he doing on the streets at 3:00 in the morning? But obviously some horrible, like, drug addict, degenerate person that's walking the streets of San Francisco, which is apparently pretty bad, stabbed him.
Yeah.
No. They find out that he was part of this swinger group of these tech people.
Right.
And was sleeping with this woman who was married. Okay. So they were having an affair. And that woman, and they were doing drugs. And that woman's brother didn't like that he was sleeping with his married sister and didn't like that he was doing drugs. And somehow they hooked up and got in a car together. And then in his car, then he stabbed him on the streets and left him on the streets. And now that guy has been arrested, but he's saying he's not guilty.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It's a crazy story. I mean, but
and I don't know if the guy was married either, the Bob Lee. But anyway, it was a secret party scene.
Is that the woman?
That was the woman, and that's the brother that killed him.
Oh, okay. That's just...
Also, I think it's weird that why is the brother so involved in his sister's life just because she was a cheater and she had a successful husband? But like that seems very weird that the brother's like that's a Lori Vallow situation.
Yeah.
Like always, like I'm thinking, did the brother have? She had so much power over her brother to get him to kill her husband. Then he died,
right?
And he probably had something to do with killing the kids as well. Like a brother sister, like was there some sexual weirdness going on there, or is he like a little mentally off?
He's
or
got to be a little mentally off or something.
I mean,
but wasn't he also
strange.
involved in like he was in the Silicon Valley world as well? I thought. That's what I had read. But
I mean, who knows? There might be more. Maybe this Bob Lee screwed somebody he was liked too. But like that there was like a swinger sex party ring of
I love the fact
people.
that there is a like a whole swinger sex party underworld that I'm happy I'm not a part of it because I feel like it's late night and
I saw a documentary that I forced Brandy and Julie to watch that they still will not forgive me for.
Oh, okay.
It was called like Orgasm Inc. And it was a company that started in San Francisco where you would go and join these groups. And it was all these nerds that had like kind of social weirdness or whatever, couldn't really make their own friends. And they'd go and they'd literally, like the girl would just be sitting with her legs spread and there'd be like a seminar and you'd pay all this money and they would like show them how to like stroke and put a pillow under them and like give them an orgasm. And it was so creepy.
Right.
But and then there was like this weird sexual thing among these like nerds. But I mean, these people I guess they're kind of nerds, but they're very good looking too.
Yeah, yeah. And rich and exciting stuff.
The son of El Chapo is hit with the U.S. sanctions over fentanyl trafficking. El Chapo had 4 sons.
Okay.
His son, Los Chapitos, built a fentanyl empire that is now poisoning America. And I just want to say, I always like to try to do a positive spin on something. Normally, kids that have, this is the ultimate Nepo baby, then kind of went off and did his own thing.
Oh, El Chapo's kid. Yeah.
He didn't just stick with cocaine.
Right.
He was like, you know what? I'm going to branch off, do my own thing. I don't need you, Dad.
Yeah.
I'm going to start fentanyl.
Right.
Yeah.
That is good of him to.
So they were running a fentanyl trafficking operation fueled by the Chinese chemical and pharmaceutical companies. And Washington accuses Mexico of allowing these cartels to produce the deadly synthetic opioid fentanyl, which that girl bought to kill her husband when she made a Moscow Mule. The Mexican president also denied the presence of fentanyl in his lab, saying it comes from China. Who the fuck knows? But anyway, this guy, he was arrested at a clinic before he was sent to have surgery. He was going to get facial surgery so that he would be unrecognizable.
Oh.
The son. But then he has been arrested. Captured, or he's been captured by authorities.
Yeah.
He's going to get new hair and a new face. Anyway, so at least maybe by catching him, there'll be some way of stopping this fentanyl. But this story was kind of funny. This couple were caught with 1,500 grams of cocaine, and it fell out of a woman's fake pregnant belly. So she was they were in South Carolina at a traffic stop. And they were observed by police that they were zipping through the lanes and nearly colliding with an 18-wheeler. So they pulled them over, and they said that their story started to get conflicting. So they were like asking, oh, you're pregnant, and the girl was saying way too much information. You know how liars give too much information, like, oh, we conceived on this day, and I'm due, and blah, blah, blah. And they're just like, this seems weird, that this pregnant couple was going so fast and everything. So then she just took off running. And as she was running, all the cocaine was falling out of her fake belly.
Oh, Jesus.
I just thought that was
And that's the belly right there in the picture?
That was what the fake belly looked like.
Wow.
And then, I love a fake pregnant story too, though.
Yeah.
It's always so weird.
There's always rumors of Beyonce, right? Didn't they
Yes.
say, whether that was true or not. Who
Our
knows?
friend Ryan, his church is in trouble.
Was he Hillsong? Did we ever get like confirmation that Ryan was Hillsong?
Ryan
He's got
Bassford,
such a Hillsong look about him.
I know he follows us.
Yeah.
And he's a cute guy, and I don't know what he's really up to.
He is the word you use all the time. He's truly a delight. I find him to
Nicest
be a delight.
guy.
Nicest guy.
He was really into being Christian, and he was part of the
Yeah.
Hillsong Church,
He was.
along with, what was the guy from E! News?
Jason Kennedy.
Jason Kennedy, along with Justin.
They all have a
Bieber.
similar look. They're like good looking.
Yeah.
They all wear that flat brim hat, the big hat. A lot of those. Cuff up their pants, not unlike mine today. And yeah, so
there is an FX special coming out about the Hillsong Church. And this guy, who actually they make reference to, such a funny show, you guys. It's starting its third season, the other two.
it's great.
The best. Have you started watching the third
Not
season?
yet, no.
Okay, there's only a couple episodes
Yeah.
out. It's so good. The other two on HBO Max, you guys. It is hilarious. And it just is a scripted comedy show, but it references so many things in pop culture and social media, and just in a very funny, clever way. And Molly Shannon's in it.
It's a good
Anyway, they have a moment where they like this. They're clearly parroting this church, but so the church was informed that there were incriminating text messages found between Carl, who is the main pastor that was Justin Bieber's pastor, always seen walking on the beach with him with this like perfect abs and tattooed body, and a woman named Ranim Karim. She identified her as his mistress. Anyway,
He met her in like a park in Brooklyn or something.
Right.
Yeah.
They met with board members to discuss their membership, and during that meeting, his behavior with the nanny was questioned as well. She was also a church member, his nanny, and she didn't know that the wife didn't know this was part of the Zoom call, and that the nanny was close to the family and often she was there when she wasn't. And then she accused her of it before, but the nanny always denied it. So besides him having this mistress, it got revealed that he was also sleeping with the family nanny on a Zoom, and that's how the wife found out. So they were like doing a Zoom with like the church leaders. And in that time, I guess he sort of had a heart-to-heart confession with them.
Right.
About all his indiscretions, infidelity.
Oh, so they weren't.
That's where
having
she
sex on Zoom.
No. So then it came out to be true on the Zoom call. Soon after the Zoom call, it was announced that Carl had been fired from Hillsong in November 2020. 6 months later, Kimes, is that the nanny? Or no, that's the wife, came forward with allegations that she was sexually and emotionally abused by the ousted pastor, whom she did not identify by name, which Carl denied. Wait, can you just look who Kimes is?
Well,
is
I
that
think
the
her
nanny
name
or
is
the
Laura
wife?
Lenz. The wife is Laura Lenz.
Oh, so I think Kimes is the nanny. So then the nanny now has come out and is probably filing a lawsuit against the whole big church.
Right.
Which is a wise thing to do. Anyway, my question is, as a woman, I was thinking, what is worse? Not to bring it back to Scandal, but find out that your husband is cheating with your best friend or your nanny.
Oh, best friend.
I think.
I don't know why, but I go with best friend.
I think only if your husband ends up marrying the nanny, then that's way worse. Because here you were, a working woman who hired a nanny who was like the caretaker and everything.
Yeah.
Then your husband's sleeping with her. At least you can fire the nanny. But if he continues staying with the nanny, then you're like, oh my God, the caregiver I hired is now caring for my kid. Like, talk about stepping into the life.
Right.
And, but I think a best friend is bad. You lose your best friend, but you can always hire another nanny. And even if your husband marries your best friend, she wasn't the main caretaker. I just always think that's just like.
So you think nanny's worse than best friend?
I think nanny's worse than best friend if they end up staying together.
Right.
But I always think the nanny, it just proves how fucking lazy and dumb men are. Literally, you go down the hall to fuck someone. Like, you can't try, no more effort is put forth.
Yeah.
Or the best friend who's right there. Like, you couldn't, go on an app.
Right.
You couldn't meet someone an hour away.
I have a nanny. I just want to let you know that there's nothing going on there. I hired a nanny that is just never going to happen. Okay, just saying. But then, Maria Shriver probably thought the same thing. She's like, nothing's going to happen here.
I also feel bad for nannies that are, just attractive.
Right.
Like a nanny that's like a young 23-year-old that's honestly great with kids.
Yeah.
And a pretty girl, athletic girl. And I'm sure a mom meets her and is like, God, this is the girl I want. Like, she's cool. She's fun. I like her. We can vibe. The kids, you want someone who's active that can actually like run and be with the kids, and everything. But then all your friends are like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
That you would, have that hot thing around your husband. And then it's like, I remember one time someone said that about my nanny. I had these triplets that were working for me then in the summer. And they were like, Peter found them because he was friends with their dad. Okay.
Uh-huh.
But he was never alone with them because they were just like babysitting when he was gone. Well, when somebody said that, they're like, "What?" I go, first of all, don't you think, do you really think the nanny I would hire, like my judgment in nanny is someone that would want to fuck Peter?
That's not going to be good. Not going to be good with the children.
And then,
right.
Like the nanny, these girls were smart girls that had aspirations,
right,
to like marry better than I did and marry someone their age.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Right.
Like, I'm not going to hire a girl that's that dumb that wants to marry some broken 50-year-old.
Fuck him.
With a knee issue.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And hobbling around. Yeah. Like, no, girl, I'm hiring you because you're a young girl and I'm going to inspire you to like do better than I did.
Am I mistaken? Or what's the plot of the TV show, The Nanny? She was hired as a nanny, Fran Drescher initially, but she wasn't with it. And then they wound up becoming a couple,
He's a
right?
widow.
Oh, he was a widow. But they did become a couple.
Yeah, I think in the end they became a couple.
Right. Okay,
yeah,
I'm just saying, crossing professional lines.
This story, a dad was traveling with his 13-year-old daughter, and he got mistaken for a human trafficker on an American Airlines flight. So then they brought him aside, and they had to interview him, and the cabin crew said they wrongly suspected him of exploiting his own daughter. And anyway, now this happened to my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law has been married to his wife for now like 7 years. They have a child, but she is from the Philippines, and she, with no makeup on, even with makeup on, she looks very young, and she's very petite. And he is older than her. Okay.
Sure.
So when we were going on a cruise, they were flying out of Houston,
which
is the hub for sex trafficking.
Is that right?
Yeah. Like a lot happens in Houston.
Oh, I didn't know that.
That's where my weird thing happened at my airport, where the guy was knocking on my door. That was Dallas. I don't know Texas.
Texas.
I just think whatever.
Well, I'm performing in Houston at the House of Blues.
Oh, no one tried to sex traffic.
Don't traffic me. I'll be there.
Anyway, so they were sitting on the plane, and the girl's going through with the cart, and my sister-in-law was tired, and she's just like, get me a Diet Coke when they come by, whatever, because I'm going to close my eyes. So I think at the time the lady came by, and her eyes were then open, but he was being a gentleman. He's like, I will have a Coke, and she'll have a Diet Coke.
Right.
And that alerted her in all of her training, the flight attendant, to be like, can she speak? Does she speak English? And then that was like, wow, is that offensive? Or maybe she didn't say, can she speak English? But she was like, can she speak? Or are you controlling her not to speak? Like they're to learn all these signs, and like, you're supposed to do this if you're being sex trafficked. I don't know. And here they're being trained.
This,
like, if you're being sex trafficked, there's some weird sign you're supposed to do. Like you're like supposed to go like this to people. I gotta keep an eye out for that. Yeah. Okay. And so anyway, these poor flight attendants, they're getting trained and everything, and they were fine. But when they told us the story, they were offended. And then even my sister-in-law was like, that's not right.
Hold on, Annie's being sex trafficked. She's doing the sign right now. Annie's sex trafficked. You guys sex trafficking Annie?
No, it's this. And so anyway, they said, and I said to them both, and I go, listen, this is what's hard, is because after 9/11, it was say something. Right. But if you say something, then you're anti-Islamic or whatever,
right.
Or or phobic or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
And then the same thing with this, like see something, say something. But if you say something, then someone's going to say, oh, you're racist because the person that they're with is Latino or Asian or whatever. And it's like, well, you told us to say something.
Right.
Like, So once I said that to them, she was like, you know what, you're right. And I go, that flight attendant was doing her job. Like, she was doing her job. They didn't arrest you guys. They just were, she was just making sure that you weren't there against your will because.
And that's saying something. The flight attendants these days.
Right.
They're not doing a hell of a lot.
So some of the comments were like, these people are racist. American Airlines should be ashamed of themselves. Lawsuit happening. And other people were like, no, like they're doing what they're supposed to do.
I guess that's true. You know, I feel like airports, there's a lot of signs up in every airport. And even they make announcements. They're coming. I don't know what I feel because I'm in airports a lot. I don't know how far I should investigate because it says keep an eye out if you see anything. So I look left and right. And that's about the extent of my, sleuthing of whether anybody's being trafficked.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'm doing enough. Maybe I should.
My whole thing is I've said this before. I just want to, I found one child at Disney. I like rescuing just kids that just get lost from their family.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
You found a child at Disney?
Found a child at Disney and he was like 4 or maybe 3 or whatever. I'm just telling you, like, I started talking to him. I could easily have walked him out of there and taken him for ice cream.
Yeah.
But then his mom came.
Oh, good.
Which was good. And then I recently found a kid at Costco.
Okay. I feel like maybe this is becoming a problem. You might be.
And I get real excited when I find like a toddler like left alone, like looking around. Because I'm just like, I want to be that hero, right?
Yeah.
So then I'm like, hi, what hold on, where's your mom? Literally, she's like right there. I'm like, oh.
Yeah. She's just like, she walked 3 feet away. Oh my God, that's funny.
So anyway, this I thought was kind of funny. Was she wrong? This is from Hollywood Unlocked. A travel influencer got slammed online after upgrading she and her husband's seats to business class, leaving her 10-year-old son in economy. And I disagree.
You're saying it's right.
I mean, the times I've done this in the past, I've never had just one kid. They've had each other. But we have definitely gone to first class, left the boys in the back with their iPads and their food.
How old are they at this point?
Well, I only started to get first class, so they were older.
Okay.
10's a little young.
Yeah.
But how long? I guess the flight was pretty long. It was like LA to Tokyo. That's pretty long. But the thing is, you can get up.
It's like 20 hours.
That is kind of long. Well, I think that's a little long.
Right.
But isn't it like that you can't have rules where you could switch? Like
I don't
once
know.
you're like, I always feel like you need to stay in your seat because like if it crashes, they need to know. Because I was always like, well, can't we just switch off? Like, couldn't I be with the kid for 8 hours and then you be with the kid for 8 hours and the kid could stay in first class?
I don't think you can because we did that. My wife always flies first class and leaves me down with the kid in coach. So and we haven't switched yet. I don't know if it's a rule, but my wife won't do it.
Me flight attendants, I kind of think it's a rule because otherwise that would work out.
You
great.
might be right.
But I do walk back
because then everybody would switch first.
I do walk back there and I like give them the cookies and stuff.
Yeah.
And give them extra food.
I think you did that to me once. You brought me snacks one time. I remember.
I totally
you did.
brought you the
brought
snacks.
Me snacks from first class back in coach. It's very nice of you. Thank you.
God, he looks awful in this picture. Johnny Depp received applause as he walked the red carpet at Cannes 1 year after his Amber Heard trial.
People were like, I guess he's the toast of the Cannes Film Festival.
Yes,
now.
he was.
So he's back in a big way. Just signed as a matter of fact, I'm wearing the cologne as we speak.
Smells good.
Smelling it, yeah. It's
snuggle.
It's
we'll
his
snuggle after.
It's his cologne. Just signed a 25 the biggest contract ever for a cologne spokesperson.
You know why he got that? Because Amber Heard, there was those tapes where she was like, "Why the fuck did they give you a deal? You're an old fat man."
Yeah. Well, he's got a deal. Sauvage.
Good.
Biggest one ever.
Good for her. Good for him. This article was saying that like people were, what was that? But his ex-wife Amber Heard's friends are trying their best to pour cold water on it. Heard's close friend Eve Barlow posted a series of images protesting Depp's Tuesday appearance at the Cannes. Well, posting some images, who cares?
Yeah.
It seems like the actual people there were very happy to see him. So who cares about that?
Okay.
Chris, we're going out to dinner tonight.
Very excited about it. I mean,
and then you, besides the shows you're doing with me, and besides everyone listening to Cover to Cover, which they
Cover
love,
to Cover's my podcast. Come and listen to it. It's
what
fun.
else is happening?
DC Improv. How about that? DC Improv, May 25th, Wednesday night. Washington, D.C.
That's going to be probably beautiful weather there.
I know. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Seattle, coming to the Hereafter in Seattle. That's June 8th. June 9th, Wow Theater, Eugene, Oregon. High
Fun.
Desert Music Hall, Redmond, Oregon.
Nice.
That's on the 10th of June. 11th of June in Portland, Helium. This is what I do
Wow.
now. I just go from city to city.
That's great. And then you're coming with me
And
then
I'm
that
coming with
weekend.
you. We're doing the cities.
We're doing the Tempe Improv.
And and what is West Hampton, New York? That's like a
That's a theater.
but you're gonna stay.
That's August 18th. I'm probably going to stay on the East Coast somehow
Yeah.
with some friend who's got a nice
Okay.
home. I have to
Yeah.
send to my friend Lisa. I have to send it to her and see if she's going to be there. If
And you were
not,
just in New York.
if not, I'll figure something
You had a
out.
great time in New York.
I know. I might go to New York a little before all these shows and hopefully do like some press and stuff. I had a lot of fun in New York. It was gorgeous weather
Yeah.
and had such a good time.
Good.
Yeah.
I'll be out. I got my Hamptons house, July 2nd to the 15th.
Fun.
Like to Montauk, but it's
Do you
it's
ever-
the
are
New
you getting
Hamptons.
your outfits together? You have a little time to figure them out.
I have
but
a little time, but I
you got like some white linen shirts,
I
some
have
light blue.
I'm going through a weird thing right now because on my birthday is Sunday.
Yes.
And I'm getting to an age now where I have to. There are certain outfits I just can't wear anymore.
You mean the short shorts like that I wear?
Well, yeah, that's one of them. I left those one time at Fortune's house. I went to a pool party years ago at Fortune's house, and I left my little shorts there.
Your swimming shorts, you mean?
Yes.
Yes.
And Fortune called, and she's like, I don't know if they're yours or your wife's. And I hate to say that, but there's little tiny shorts here. And I hope they're not, but I said, yeah, they're mine. They're my shorts. And I got them back. Yeah.
Along with your cosmetic bag.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, this is my life, Anyway, I'm excited to get back on the road with you. It's been a while.
It's been a while. We're going to have so much fun.
We were real good there. We were getting good when we did
Ugh.
I believe it was DC was our last show.
Yes. This the Tempe will be stand up, but we talk all about the pop culture. You're going to see two headliners for, together. And
San
it'll be
Diego
very fun.
is going to be stand-up?
San Diego's going to be stand-up. And you, Justin, and me. That show is doing really well. So that will be amazing. Yeah. Las Vegas is the
I want to know
Juicy
who
Scoop
does
live.
more time, me or Justin? We do the
Oh
same
my
amount of
God.
time.
Let me just figure it out.
Let me just say that I've been in the business much longer.
Okay, I'm going to give you more time. It'll be Justin, you,
Just
and me.
one more
It's
minute.
going to
That's
go
all I'm
Justin,
asking.
you, and me.
I mean, everyone's there to see you, and I understand that. But
No, I don't think so. Everyone's excited to go. It's a Juicy Scoop extravaganza in San Diego.
yeah, all right. This is all very exciting.
It's all
stuff.
wonderful.
Huntington, New York is my hometown. It's like
I know.
Long Island. It's my people. The Paramount Theater.
That's going to be fun.
I know. So come out, Long Island.
I
It's tough to
hope
get those
so.
Long Islanders out of the house, but they love you. So
Okay,
it'll be
well,
fun.
we'll work it out. We have a few months to promote it, so we're okay.
And Las Vegas.
And Las Vegas, and everything is at heathermcdonald.net.
This is like a Memorial Day weekend in Las Vegas. I mean,
gonna be
it
so
can't get more
fun.
fun than that.
It cannot get more fun than
Is
that.
it? Do I still have Vegas left in me though? Am I too old?
Absolutely
Has
not.
Has it moved on from me?
Because you go like once, twice a year. You can still love it. You just can't go more than that.
Like if we're all at a club, people are going to be like, "What is going on with those?"
Absolutely
people?"
not.
Okay.
We are going to be laughing our asses off and having fun.
I
Come
love
on.
It. Sounds amazing. Thank you for having me.
Love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
People say you never say love me back. Is that weird?
Love you back. I always say love you
You
back.
turn it off already? No. Okay, good.
I
No,
always
you
say
don't.
love you
According
back.
to the fans, you don't.
I say love you back. I always do.
Okay.